Cheers.
All right.
Get this thing started.
All right. Autofocused in. I moved into an all blurry.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Yeah. So, when was the last time you actually, just watched TV? Like, on the couch, watching TV?
Like, not have a, DVR idea of what I'm getting into then?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Like, just channel surfing. I guess the idea of channel surfing,
I think that's gone. Yeah. I don't remember the only time I channel surf is if I'm looking for sports. Like, what's the basketball game on? What channel? That's the only time I'm looking through.
I guess when people are over and you're trying to find something like NASCAR, for some reason people in our family like to watch NASCAR.
A lot of golf.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
It's not an easy pull-up channel for me either.
Because I don't know. I'm like, is it Fox?
Yeah.
ABC, CBS? I don't know.
Watching golf on television.
Not my thing.
No.
Well, however, Netflix I think is the first thing I turn on, or Hulu.
Yes. Well, I get alerts on my phone from Netflix.
Oh, when something new comes out?
Yeah, they tell me. They let me know. Hey, you're probably gonna like this. They're not always right, but
I don't have that connected to my phone.
Keeping Netflix off your phone?
Well, no, I just didn't know that was an option.
Oh yeah, that's an option. It's a screen though, so you lose if you have 3 screens. One of them's your phone.
Oh.
They know how to get you.
I don't know.
You don't know how much do you pay for Netflix? Do you know?
I think it's $10.99, $9.99,
I think
something
you
like
probably
that.
have 2 screens. I think you can have as many as 5.
Yeah.
They just raised it up too. I don't know if they raised yours, but they raised mine from.
I don't think so. Not yet.
$11.99 to $15.99 now.
Oh, well, I guess their content is getting better.
Yes. Well, they have a lot more of it too.
Yeah, there's movies, there's shows, whereas before they would pay other people to air their stuff. I'm not sure how that worked, but I'm sure they had to pay them.
Yeah. Well, it's syndication, right? So, Seinfeld or The Simpsons was always on other channels, the reruns.
Yeah.
So it's probably the same idea with Netflix.
Yeah, and HBO, I don't think has ever been on Netflix. Maybe Sopranos, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any HBO show on Netflix. But they've had their own online thing from the beginning.
HBO Go.
Yep. Well, Netflix is just one of those. I think they want to become the Amazon of online content. If you're looking for anything, come here.
Yeah, but even that I think will change.
Yes.
Because I feel like everyone's just going to make their own streaming.
Well, Amazon did too. So Amazon realized what was happening and said, "No, we'll be the Amazon of online."
We got a market. We can make movies and stuff. We can pay people to do this stuff. I got lots of money.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Fox is going to have their own. I think it's going to be apps on your phone. It's just but on your streaming device or TV, or probably everyone's going to have a smart TV that's just connected to the internet.
Yeah. So instead of a cable bill, you'll have subscriptions.
Yeah, $2.99 for CBS, another $2.99 for Fox, another $2.99 for ESPN. It's just going to be pretty much. I feel like that's the way it's going.
Yeah. Each production or whoever's paying for the show is now going to own the online version of it.
Because I wonder if there was we can just make more money if we just distribute it ourselves and just make an app.
Yeah.
But I guess in the beginning it might cost more, but in the long term it might.
Well, I haven't watched any of the new Star Trek series because it's only on the CBS app, and I refuse. I refuse to buy the CBS
I have
All
the
Access.
CBS All Access, so I've watched the first season of Discovery.
And your take?
It's all right.
Is it worth the subscription?
I watched The Big Bang Theory on there as well, and Little Sheldon.
Yeah.
I only watched a couple episodes of that, but I think I don't remember the last time I actually turned on the CBS thing. I still get charged every month for it.
Yeah.
But it's a $6 bill every month.
Yeah, it's hard to get angry about it, but at the same time, it used to be free. You used to be able to watch CBS shows, and it's for some reason it's the premium shows that they won't show us. I think they have The Twilight Zone too. Is that on the CBS app?
There's pages of stuff on the app. like all the old like Star Trek,
Next Generation, Voyager.
Yeah, and the Star Trek, just Star Trek,
Everything.
which is a weird one with the first Enterprise before Kirk.
Oh, before Kirk.
Kirk.
Right. Scott Bakula, right? Is in there?
Maybe
I don't know.
the guy from like NCIS New Orleans.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see NCIS New Orleans. I stopped after like 2 of the cities for NCIS. That's it.
I got a regular NCIS, and I got LA, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm over that. I think quality is probably.
Oh no, Quantum Leap. He was in Quantum Leap.
Yes, he was definitely in Quantum.
That's Star Trek.
They should remake that show. Quantum Leap is a great idea for a television show.
Yeah,
Yeah, a new world every week.
yeah. Like it's just crazy.
Plus, and nowadays,
Why haven't they remake everything else? Why did they make Quantum Leap?
well, he did leap into like the bodies of women sometimes and the bodies of minority. It would be perfect for our time.
Well, yeah,
If you want
gender fluidity.
Yes, he could be anything any week. So whatever.
Well, he
it
couldn't.
is-
He didn't really pick. He just
Right.
It was
he does
all
not
just
pick.
random.
Yeah. Which I didn't pick being this. I mean, I guess I decide
Technically, you did.
every day.
I mean, you put on the shirt, put
I
on the
did.
blazer.
Nope. Someone else did all of that. Gun to my head.
Got it.
I had
Got
nothing to do with that. Trying to get me to buy the CBS app.
it. Speaking of remakes, what movies or even shows do you think now they should remake?
What should be remade?
Yeah.
That's a harder question. It's a lot easier to do the other way, but I think should be remade. Depends. Do you want to make the old movie better?
I feel like there should be reasons why.
Yes.
Like, let's say, for some reason, Green Lantern did not work out.
No.
I feel like I want to rewatch it just to see why. Is it just his suit? Is it just the training? Like, the not concept of using your imagination and anything appears? Like, I'm not quite sure what didn't quite
Yeah.
make it.
Well, let's do some thinking out loud right now. So the idea of Green Lantern is that he is a police officer, a galactic police
Yeah.
officer, and he gets chosen by the Ring.
Because he's his character.
Yeah.
Like, his moral character.
He
or
doesn't
whatever.
have fear. Like, that's the thing. He's not.
Well-
He's a test pilot, and he's never afraid to do the crazy things.
And he always opts to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
why the Ring chooses him.
Yes. So you're picking. Well, and you know what? Ryan Reynolds is. It's kind of hard to make a bad movie with Ryan Reynolds. Like, I don't understand.
I thought he was fine. Like, was it just the premise of? Was it just the storyline? Was it?
I remember not liking it, but I don't remember.
Maybe
why.
it was just like the CGI from like how he was just too childish with like when the helicopter was landing and then he made some car with some racetrack and like was
Yeah.
when he could have just been like, oh, I just have a giant hand pick up the helicopter and then put it down.
You didn't have to be so elaborate in your
Yeah.
imaginative escapes.
Maybe it was just unrealistic. Like the first Hulk movie, it was just so beyond anyone's imagination that
Yeah.
they couldn't get into it because, well, truthfully, that's just how the Hulk is. Like it was a bad story.
Yeah.
But the Hulk powers, like those, that's just how the Hulk is. Like
Yeah.
he's-
The Hulk's a TV show, not
Yeah.
a movie. You got to do that story slowly.
you gotta focus the story on Bruce, and the Hulk is just like the answer to the problem Bruce can't figure out.
Yeah. We spent way too
Hulk
much
smash.
time. It was like an art film almost. The first Hulk movie. It's like there was all these John Woo-ish.
And then his dad takes his hair and then makes his
Yeah.
dog like.
It had a villain problem too. 'Cause the
Yeah.
dad was the villain.
So there's issues like that where like was it the concept was there, but the overall story needs to be retold. Then there's like movies that the CGI, well, the special effects
Yeah.
can be redone differently now with technology. Like when they redid Return of the Jedi, or did they redo all of them?
They redid all 3 of them with the added special effects.
Yeah,
It wasn't
which-
bad. Yeah.
Well, no, they didn't change the story. They
Right.
didn't do any of the dialogue, but all the special effects were remade, and it made it more of a way better movie.
Yeah. Well, the special effects took you out of it from watching it nowadays because it would be like, what is that? That's a model.
Which is why you have to watch the the 70s versions and then go to the newer ones. You can't watch them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I agree.
You have to go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Because if not, you go from like great special effects to
What happened there?
what happened?
It's like a college kid is making them in the middle of it. Yeah.
So you have to go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
And it's kind of sad because he was a revolutionary visual effects guy, and we're just like, looks pretty cheap, George.
TV shows have better special effects now.
Yes, almost all of them.
Sci-fi movies have kind of.
Sharknado has better effects than the
original
3, 4,
Star
5.
Wars.
Yeah. So that's
is it acting? Acting is another category you can want to redo a movie. Like
one actor can ruin a movie.
So it's like overall bad story, great concept, bad acting.
So that would be G.I. Joe.
And special effects. Probably the main reasons you'd want to redo a movie.
Yeah, or like you said, there's something you feel like they left out that you want to add into the story.
Oh, like in Superman Returns, or what is it? When you have no idea why everyone thinks he's the cause of that Middle Eastern like village being destroyed.
Yeah.
Because they deleted the scene of them barbecuing with the flamethrower all of the bodies to make it look like he heat waved it.
Yeah.
Like they took out parts of the movie that explained other parts they left in the movie.
And it's still a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
So
and I'm
figure
like,
that out.
when you have to cut things to make time that are relevant to other plot points, and it's just why? Like that was very relevant information. And like after the Capitol blew up, or DC, they had like some video of him like flying off to make it kind of look like he had something to do with it.
Yeah.
But they cut that in the deleted scene. So like these two parts that make, well, why does anyone think he did any of this?
I don't think. Well, you can do this with it.
So bad directing. So another 4-1. The bad directing.
Bad writing too. Well, you don't know because we didn't see the script, but it doesn't come together very well.
Well, no, they're in the deleted scene, so it was like in the movie, and then they cut it out because they thought it wasn't necessary. And I'm like, who makes these decisions?
Maybe that's what's wrong with Justice League. Maybe there's a bunch of scenes cut out that make that movie make sense.
How hard is it to shave off your mustache and just grow another one?
Yeah.
What does that take? Like a month?
Maybe.
They can shoot other scenes while stupid Mission Impossible contracts.
Yeah.
His face was unnecessary.
If you were going to remake movies, I would just start with DC and just do Green Lantern, Superman. I don't know if the Flash series is not bad, but it could be better.
But like the Dark Knight like saga,
yeah, well,
doesn't need to be redone.
No,
which is weird. Like they started off, but maybe it's because they went from that to Ben Affleck and just kind of like threw him in there without any. People were just mad.
I totally
of the actor change.
Yeah, I totally get what Ben Affleck's doing. It just doesn't work in the movie. I think a grizzled Batman is a good way to go with it. It's just it doesn't work in the context of these.
Yeah, it's just. I feel like everything was rushed too.
Yeah, that's
just like
a part of it.
It's just I don't. Maybe everything is just done on timelines now instead of like just letting it happen. Like
yeah, and that's
the studio was too much involved, whereas before, like maybe because like Spielberg was like, no, this is mine. You guys go away.
Yeah, all of Spielberg's early movies were over budget, over time, but he was not going to release Jaws until he had Jaws.
He had what he wanted.
Right.
Whereas now, I think the directors don't have the power like they did before.
Well, if your movie slows up, then you've now slowed up 3 other movies on the calendar that were supposed to be released. Boom, boom, boom. You're ruining the Marvel Universe by delaying your film.
Well, that's true. So there's bad acting.
Yes.
Bad writing.
Bad writing.
The concept could be there.
Yes.
I don't know. Like that one's more tricky. So
that's a potential one. Good potential, bad execution.
Yeah. And like who knows? Maybe even like the concept isn't there because like there's no feasible way to tell it.
Yeah.
Then there's special effects, which I think is the bigger one.
Yeah.
I think because movies from the 80s to now, like you can just be like, I can't watch this.
Those effects pull you out. Yeah, especially like horror movies. When you're watching like Nightmare on Elm Street or something, and they're doing the "oh my god, this is supposed to scare you" scenes, and you're laughing. That's when you
because it's such
clay.
It's like, what is that? Like a piece of rubber, and you're sticking your hand through it? Like I don't.
Yeah, the melting face in Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff just pulls you out, and the rest of the movie is terrific. But you go, oh, I'm watching a movie as soon as you see that. So acting, I will call this execution. Execution versus potential. Bad special effects. What else?
I think those are like the two big categories. Or if you just generalize them all, like it's just special effects and then execution.
Execution.
But the execution probably has like 4 trees underneath of it, like little tiers can go under.
Acting, directing.
Let's go with like The Godfather. Can you remake that one?
No. You cannot remake. You cannot add anything to The Godfather.
Well, can't literally you can't because the movie is like a week long.
It's a week long, but it's the film school movie. So if I haven't gone, you haven't gone. But if we did go to film school, Godfather is what they would teach you with.
That degree's on the mail.
Yeah, that one, along with the science stuff. In the mail. It might be a perfect movie, The Godfather. Honestly, I've watched it a couple times now, just this month, getting ready for this podcast.
No?
I was challenged because I had never seen Godfather before. I saw it, and I loved it. And it's a good movie.
Jordan made you watch it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We got into an argument at a party that I was being elitist because I wanted to be the only one that had never seen The Godfather. Got called out, and I ate that.
Then you watched it, and now you.
I agree with her.
Now you don't know why you waited so long.
Yeah, it was a terrific movie. Pacino. Anyway, all right. So I'd say you can't remake The Godfather.
And one you can, Green Lantern. For some reason, everyone can
come back to that. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. How do you go wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. Because he worked so well in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess maybe because it's the acting and like Green Lantern is supposed to have like a different tone than Deadpool.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's supposed to be a different tone, and maybe it was just his humor that didn't work.
Right.
So it could have just been Ryan Reynolds because the movie in general, I feel, was fine.
Yeah.
As a whole, like the story was fine. So it had to have been
something.
Ryan.
I don't know either because
he's not happy about it either. So
yeah,
I'm sorry, Ryan, but like maybe it was just you. Like it wasn't.
We've all seen Deadpool, and he makes fun of that constantly.
Yeah.
So
and he's awesome in Deadpool.
Yeah. He's awesome in everything. He's charming.
Even in what's the horror movie he was in?
Horror movie.
Yeah, he was Amityville Horror.
Oh yeah,
he redid it.
Yeah,
awesome there.
He was pretty good in that. Yeah, he's pretty good when he's locked in the coffin underground. Forget what that movie's called, but it's just him. You're this far away from his face. The whole movie, just like a flashlight.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you don't need to know. All right, so Green Lantern, yes, let's remake it. How about this one? Jaws. You could go with the effects angle here.
But I think I recently watched it like the end of 2018 and it was fine.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was just like I'm used to higher quality film because I think I just watched it like at my parents' house. They were watching it on DVD or whatever. Like it wasn't quite like 1080 is not quite where you're used to anymore.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like when you saw the shark, it was fine.
Yeah, I think he was so limited, and what he could use the shark as, it's not seeing the shark. That's the great part of that movie. So
most of it's just you see the fin.
Yeah.
The dorsal fin.
Yeah.
To be specific,
I think we only see the shark. It's a very small amount.
At the end of the boat, after the movie, when he comes out and shoves the canister in his mouth.
It's the execution part. The guy knows how to tell a story, and you're drawn in. There's not a second of that movie that I would change. So I would say no remake on Jaws, even though you could make the special effects argument.
The Last Airbender.
Well, now we can do a couple of things for this guy. I don't think the effects are bad.
Well, first, did you see the cartoon at all?
No.
But you watched the movie?
I watched it.
Because it was M. Night Shyamalan?
Because it was M. Night, yeah. I was an M. Night fan.
I was not a fan of the movie. I did watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
As an adult, yes, I was an adult. Hey, my
it's okay.
My 10-year-old self likes to get out.
It's okay.
But I think the cartoon was much because it spent more time like explaining everything, whereas the movie was just kind of like, here's this reality doesn't do really much of explaining to it.
Yeah.
And
they're dance fighting. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're having a little dance off, which it's
that's how you control the elements. That's how.
Yeah, all right. It just doesn't feed
51 with the nature, man. I wasn't mad about the choreographed because that's just how they spun their magic. Their magic.
It just doesn't have an action feel to it because of that.
And like, you just can't take kids into movies like that serious. With like, why do the kids have all the responsibility in the world to save it? Like, I never really got that premise. Like,
yeah,
I mean, they're still kids. Like, how can I don't know. I don't get it.
No, there was definitely world building going on, but I don't know if M. Night. This is the execution thing. I don't think we were sucked into it.
No.
And I spent a lot of time just
waiting.
Yeah.
Just I don't.
Yeah, I don't even know that the effects were very good either.
No, I don't think they were.
No, and they could have been. I remember when the trailer came out, and it's all the arrows coming down on the kid at one time. I mean, it had me pumped, and then left me.
That was the high point, right? The preview.
Yeah.
Do you hate that when the preview is the best part of the movie?
Happens way too
with comedies. It's the worst with comedies.
Yeah, you're getting the 3 jokes of the entire movie right there in the trailer.
Yeah, and it's like, do I have to see the?
No, you don't really.
But you have to sometimes because it's like Will Ferrell or.
Yeah. No. What's the last comedy that was ruined by the trailer? Usually there's Sandra Bullock's involved in this. I feel like those comedies are the ones that suffer the most from trailer.
I can't think of.
Usually Woody Allen's trailers look really good, and the movies are usually But you're not allowed to like Woody Allen anymore, so I don't. He's a sexual. Let's skip it. All right. How about this one? Interview with a Vampire. Remake or no remake?
I would have to go with no.
Don't remake it.
I feel like you would still have to use Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise.
Yes.
And Dunst is grown up now.
That's a hell of a performance.
Because I don't think you can find another kid that could do that.
No. Well.
And you can't reuse the same 2 characters because they're vampires. Well, one's dead in the movie, kind of, but whatever. Yeah. But they're not supposed to age yet. Well, I guess technically kind of. Has Tom Cruise aged, really?
No, I don't think he has. Although he did get injured. That might be a rumor.
But injured is not.
No.
Aged.
Vampires can get injured, I guess.
Yeah.
What about this? What about we make it as a TV series? Now are you interested? A deep dive.
Well, then you're just redoing Angel? Buffy the Vampire.
Yeah, I know. I got you. Yeah, I guess. He's He's a little darker than Angel, I would say. A little darker than the WB. But
Maybe. But I feel like...
You're right. The Tom Cruise performance is a tough thing to try and replicate.
Because you would still have to hire someone in their 20s to do like a 10-year show that probably lasted like 12 years to make sure they didn't really age much. Vampire shows like are hard. Like their TV series, like was it The Immortals?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. I've watched a couple of like episodes here and there, but like or the originals. It was the originals, not the Immortals. Sorry, there's too much stuff to watch.
That's one of the things we'll be talking about because there is way too much to watch these days.
Yeah, like there's just so much content. Like you think you just go scrolling through. You're like, oh well, I'll just go to Hulu now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder what's on Netflix. Let me check Netflix real quick before I pick something from Hulu. I better check Netflix.
I find myself finding something for just as long as I'm actually watching something.
Yeah.
Unless I find a show and it's like a good 2-3 seasons in, and I watch it 4 days. I'm done with all 4 seasons or something.
Yeah. Well, this is the FOMO thing, right? Fear of missing out. So I don't want to select this movie because there's probably a better movie on the next page over. I just got to keep looking. And you end up not watching any movies instead of... Yeah.
Or you watch some stuff just because you think they're connected, like how all of the blockbuster hits now are just parts of universes.
Yes.
Which is why tomorrow I'm going to go see Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Even though I hear it's horrible.
Brie Larson.
Well, nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't watch it opening weekend. I'm done. I did my protest for the 1 week.
I hope you feel good. That's what matters. Feel
Hey,
good about what you
but
did.
I only have to go see the movie because Captain Marvel is in Endgame. And I've been watching like 17 years of Marvel movies that culminate in this one movie that I have to see now.
Yeah.
And I have to see a different Marvel movie just because they threw her in it.
It feels
like I'm not even like I'm gonna go see it. It's a Marvel movie. It's gonna be okay, I'm sure. But I don't understand why they're throwing that character in the middle of. It seems like it's just not timed well.
Like it's rushed.
Like if they cameoed her at the end of Endgame,
mm-hmm.
and then started the new like Phase 4. I guess that's what they're calling it. As her movie was like the first Iron Man. Like he started, like he started where we're ending in April, and she's gonna start where we start. Like if they just released the movie in May, and like she starts where Iron Man started, and then they continue off that, and like they have their own little subsect of
branch away.
Like the newer Avengers team up with her to fight the next foe, which I'm sure will be somewhere in Endgame or something.
Yeah.
If they brought it in like that, I think I would have been totally more fine with how the timeline works. But it just seems like it's just totally...
Yeah.
And just kind of like, well, we have this perfect story going on. Let's just throw some more stuff in there.
Jam this in.
Yeah.
Well, that's...
It's just continuity that I'm worried about, not so much the character.
And I'll say this, Marvel's done a good job up to this point, but juggling all of this, eventually you're going to drop a couple of balls. And I can see that because it seems to me like there's a train track, and they know exactly where we're going.
There are lots of story meetings.
Yes.
And like how many... I don't think there's like 5 different directors in like all the Thor movies, the Iron Man movies, the Avengers movies, the Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
Like it's all different directors. Like, but I guess Foggy, not the director, but like the Disney guy that's in charge. He probably has like the story he wants to be told, and he's just kind of like, okay, make sure you add this though, or like he's like the. He's like the Stan Lee now of the movies, whereas Stan Lee did the comics.
We need to connect this like this. Make sure you do it like this. Yeah, someone's in charge.
Like this needs to be in this. Like, I think it's Feige.
You got me.
Feige.
Seems like you can make a mistake with a name like that. All right, so that's a good, interesting point about Disney. So if you think about Disney right now, they own Marvel. They own Star Wars. They own...
Lucasfilms.
Yeah, Lucasfilms. They own all the memories of your childhood, essentially. Mm-hmm. And they're putting all of those out as live-action movies now. Disney owns the summer. Nobody's going to come out with a movie, except for Disney, the entire summer long. They're basically determining what we all watch for an entire summer.
I mean, I guess Fox... Well, they own Fox now, which is all weird. Sony, then? I guess Sony still owns the rights to some Marvel
Spider-Man, maybe the X-Men. I forget who owns what there.
Fox owns like X-Men, but Sony owns the Spider-Verse.
Right.
But they leased Spider-Man to Disney
for Homecoming,
which is just, I don't know how that all.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah,
everybody's making a little. It worries me that one company is kind of controlling everything all summer long. This is how we get.
But are the live actions even going to be good? Like I've seen like the pictures of Will Smith as the genie, and it just looks weird to me. I don't even know how they're like. I haven't seen any pictures for Lion King. I don't know how in the world they're going to do that.
Yeah,
because they're lions. Are there just going to be lions?
Well, they did the Jungle
Book.
Like
with Mr. Ed, they just put peanut butter in their mouth and it makes their mouth move.
Did you watch the Jungle Book? The live action Jungle Book?
I did not.
It's a talking everything. So yeah, they took a monkey, they took a bear.
But isn't that animated though?
It is, but
I mean, Mowgli's a real boy.
Right.
He's not animated, but like all of the
mouse, I guess
animals are. It's not live action. It is, but it's not because there's no humans in Lion King.
Well, is Marvel live action? Because mostly what they're doing is there is a big green screen behind them, and they're
I guess because it's actual characters and it's live action ish, but like
it's probably the same percentage.
It's not quite the same as like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action.
Yeah,
great movies. Not so much the third one. The third one was a little strange.
I love them all. They got me at the right time.
Yeah. Well, no, I love them still, but
yeah,
the going back in feudal Japan just seemed a little curveball-y.
Oh, Michelangelo meets the little boy, and they have it's a great movie. Secret of the Ooze, though, is my favorite of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm a fan of the original.
Yeah, it's not bad, but Secret of the Ooze. How we start talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
We digress.
Yeah, we digressed big time.
Yeah, it's all about entertainment today, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get through all of this.
Maybe not all of it. There's a lot of entertainment out there.
So, what other trends do you see that's different from when you were a kid watching things that we're watching, the way that we're watching?
I would go with the slow release. Like there was a subset of like shows that you watched. Like on Monday, I watched these two shows.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I watched these two shows, and it was like every night, like every Wednesday. I think for like 7 years, I made sure I watched Voyager. Like Deep Space Nine was on Sunday, but I think it was more reruns, and it was like, but whatever. Like it was the nightly views. Whereas now it's just like, oh, I'll just wait a few months and then I'll just watch them all.
Yeah.
-1 today. They still got it. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They still got it.
It's an event.
And everyone talks about each show, episode, all week long.
The water cooler show. This was a thing that used to drive entertainment, and Netflix basically took a shit on it and said, no, we're going to give you every episode you want.
Like, I like it and I don't like it. Like the just dump all 15 episodes same day.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't build the community.
Like, the ideas of thinking about it and stuff, like Game of Thrones, we've had, like, every week I think there's 4 different theories on who's going to die, who's going to kill who's going to sleep with who's going to do this. But, like, when you watch it on Netflix, if it was a Netflix original, it'd just be like...
We go all the way through it.
There'd be no speculation. It's just, I just can't turn it off. Like, I'm calling out of work if it's released on a Wednesday, Thursday, I'm not going into work.
Yeah. It creates a community. You watch the previews so that you can have a theory to talk to people about.
Or that last 30 seconds of every episode, you're like...
You build your own theories, there's a connection you make with the characters now every week. You're looking for... But if you get the Netflix dump, I'm going to watch all of the House of Cards.
Stranger Things?
Yes, I'm going to watch all of them. And I'm not...
Like Halloween, like after trick-or-treaters were done. I think also watching it while people were trick-or-treating.
Probably.
And it's not quite the same. Like, we talk about it for like a week or 2, maybe 3, depending on how, like, when everyone started watching it in the office or, like... wherever you work, it's usually who you talk to with it. And then, like, after Thanksgiving, you're not talking about Stranger Things at all.
Yeah.
Whereas Game of Thrones, I've talked about on and off all year.
I feel like you and I have had a Game of Thrones conversation maybe every week waiting for this next season. And this is the first time we've talked about Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And both shows are great. I like both shows, but... if you release it, a show at a time...
was there 10 episodes every time of Game of Thrones? So that's 10 weeks.
Yeah.
You're waiting, which is a fifth of the year.
Yeah.
And then the other 4/5, you're just like, what's going to happen? Who's going to die? What's going on?
This is what I think. This is what oh, you know what I heard? Oh, did you see the new trailer? They have this. And those conversations just build your show.
Mm-hmm.
Another new thing this is a new thing Netflix has done, is the Bandersnatch idea, which is you make the choices for the character as the story's going on. And I know it wasn't a perfect execution this time.
No, like I did it, and I like the idea.
Yeah.
This is one of those execution things we were talking about.
Execution.
And I didn't think it was executed very well, but the idea is amazing.
I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix the whole thing right now.
But I think that is a project that you have to give to the team, and you just leave them alone for 5 years. Because I imagine that's how long, because you have to do like 1,000 takes of each different...
Yeah. I would simplify it. So, just we were talking about Serial.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of every episode, you have a should they or should they. You put the voting online, and you let the audience determine what one character is going to do in the next episode. So you would have to shoot week to week, which would be difficult. But instead of having the Bandersnatch thing where sometimes your choices aren't really choices. The two things that they offer you are the exact same thing. They lead to the same way. Yeah, and oftentimes you have to redouble back to finish a story, even though you went in the opposite.
Yeah, right? It just was like you picked the wrong choice.
Yeah.
He failed.
So this way, I'm going to let the fans choose what the character does every week or for the season. It would be a lot more complicated to create, but that is the...
I think time constraints, like let's say someone came down with like the flu, like you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's...
Possible.
Yeah,
like not in a big scale like a Stranger Things or a Game of Thrones. You couldn't do it.
Whereas, like, if you took the time and had the 1,000 things recorded that you would need to have recorded for each different question, like, it would take time, but you wouldn't be constrained, and I think you would have to balance how many times you had forks in the road to choose from. Because if it's just you choosing, like, every 2 minutes, like, you lose the connection.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a balancing of, like, recording everything, doing it, having someone, like, do it a few times. I mean, like, cutting down, scaling up, doing whatever. Like, I imagine in, like, 10 years, it's probably going to be where you want it to be.
Yeah. I think, you're right. And I think most, like, the next version of a great artist, the next Steven Spielberg, is going to be the guy that figures that out. So then you can create a story where the kid, if you're watching the show and you're 11 years old, you make one decision and then you see how that ruins your life. So then you can go back and say, oh, well, this decision would create a different... I think there's more learning in that type of story as opposed to your basic narrative. I like the idea.
I can even get school funding for stuff like that.
Yeah.
All the educational videos, something they can do that way, and be like, yeah, go take some experiment, and they can go with like drug addict commit suicide, and then you somehow graduated Harvard, and now you're a lawyer in New York.
That's tiny little decisions you make along the way start you on a path that you don't see coming. You didn't see that this would lead to that. I think there's value in that.
Oh yeah, like it's a great idea, but I feel like it's definitely going to be like a very like delicate thing of like having the amount of choices built in that matter, that won't take away from the story, which is there's a balance to be struck there, because the fact that like it pauses before you can move on, like it's just like
nobody's done it yet, but I see that potential.
And do you have to just watch those by yourself, so like you're not with someone and they're like, let's pick that one?
Yeah, so I did watch it with somebody else, and that's exactly what happened. We argued almost immediately because I wanted to go the negative route.
Oh.
Immediately. That's just the kind of person I am. I wanted to ruin the character's life. And the person next to me was not as willing to push this person towards homicide.
She wanted to go to a different rabbit hole.
Yes, she was hoping for a positive ending.
Oh. Not the murdering of the father?
Well, I had to do it, just to see what would happen.
And, well, that's what happened.
I learned my lesson.
That's the rabbit hole I went down as well.
Yeah, I also chopped the body up, so that was in different pieces. Because that way I didn't go to jail right away. I think eventually I did go to jail, but... Yeah. Bandersnatch was a good idea, just wasn't perfect execution.
Yeah, I feel like that one should have came out in like 2 years. Like it just needed some more things that they needed to do, but the idea and concept it's awesome.
It's the next thing. Yeah.
I don't think every movie's gonna be like that, because you can't go to a theater like.
Yeah. Well, what did we have a bunch of years ago? Was the 3D, right? Everything was going to be 3D.
Avatar.
Now. Yeah.
Avatar, but that movie was. He wrote that one, Titanic, and there's another movie he wrote, and he chose not to do Avatar because the special effects wasn't available for him to do. So he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Yeah.
So he was probably rewriting and writing that for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And I think that was a great Cowboys and Indians story.
No, it was. It was Dances with Wolves with giant blue monkeys.
Yeah.
But the way that it looked was the 3D was different than any other 3D that I'd seen.
Like I think I saw it 3 times just
for the the things falling down around you when the tree falls down and the little splinters. Yeah. And nobody's gotten even close to Avatar in terms of the 3D sense. I haven't seen another movie where I thought they hit the same level.
But maybe it was just like the first time, everyone's first love is, the deepest, cuts the deepest.
And there was bad versions of it too. Like every horror movie all of a sudden had a 3D
little
knife coming at you, which was dumb. They shouldn't have done that.
Which I guess scary movies now is just they just want to get you to jump 3-4 times in the movie, and I think they succeeded.
Still the idea. Yeah.
I think Saw is the most recent great horror movie. It's not really a horror movie, it's just a thriller.
Yeah. No, I'll call it a horror just because of the
content.
Yeah, the level of grossness usually, or pain, I guess. But Saw's a great concept. You're not living your life. You need to learn.
You need to appreciate life.
Yeah, you need to appreciate life. Yeah, and that's a great concept, and that's why it worked.
Just a sick message of getting it across.
Yeah. Well, the first time you watched Saw, did you know that guy was? Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen this movie, it's like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Spoiler ahead.
You probably should see it. Did you think that guy was alive? No, nobody did.
He didn't move at all the entire time.
It's one of those great ending twists that no one ever saw coming.
No, he was
a part of the scenery. I didn't even think of it as a person. That's how terrible I am.
He was just a prop. The entire movie, a prop.
I think they made that movie really cheap, too.
Yeah, it was just, 3 locations? There was a warehouse, an apartment, and some toilet.
Mostly it's just the 2 guys just watching.
Talking in a room. It was like Blair Witch.
Yeah. Yeah, another
2 video cameras in the woods.
No special effects. Maybe they did a little lighting here or there. Yeah. That was another example of why the fuck didn't I think of that? Damn it!
Cost $5,000 to make, and they made $50 million.
Yeah, 2 sequels, and I'm pretty sure they got any job in Hollywood they wanted after that. Yeah, film school students.
Money, just money.
Incredible. All right, what movies? Here's a third. I'm going to throw a third question out. What movies would be better as a TV show than as a movie that you've seen? So I mentioned Interview with the Vampire might be better as a TV show. What about Forrest Gump?
Nope.
No? It's better as a movie?
Yeah.
Better to wrap his life up?
I mean, yeah, it's just
too much dumb if we go the full season. 10
it's just
10 hours of dumb.
I guess to do it, you would have to do a year of his life, so you'd have to have 35 seasons before you can.
Yeah.
So I'm 70 years old by the time I'm done watching this movie.
It's true.
Because that man did a lot of shit.
No, his life was it's American history. It's his
life
is American history.
But it would just.
Yeah, you'd have to go. Let's see. Let's try to name them all real quick. Vietnam, ping pong. College football.
The civil rights movement.
He shrimp boat captain. Mowed the lawn at the school.
Times Square, New York City.
Yep, New Year's Eve. He met 3 presidents.
And he loves some Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Peeing in the White House.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's 8 seasons.
Yeah.
That's a long show.
You're running and
the running, yeah.
That's a whole season.
That's probably 2 seasons.
He did a lot of running.
Yep.
And then
I can't think of anything else. Everyone would hate Jenny. I already hate her most of the movie.
I still don't like her.
Yeah, if it was a TV show, people would hate her.
Yeah, there's no way.
So he was in the Vietnam War and at the protest.
Yeah,
The guy got around.
He did. He was involved in everything.
Yeah. I think Jenny dies of AIDS, so he's touched by AIDS, and his mom dies of cancer. And I guess you would do him being a father too.
I guess in recent news, his mom slept with the principal to get him in school.
Yep.
And now parents are getting sued by students that didn't get in colleges. So that it even comes back to today's world.
There it is. Forrest Gump was warning us about this problem. What do you think about that as a problem? Rich people are trying to give advantages to their kids.
No.
It's insane.
Crazy, right?
How would they do? Why would they do that to us? Of course, everybody tries to do that for their kids.
Yeah, it's just
human nature. Is it fair? No, but there's a lot about being rich versus not being rich that's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, and now the Full House's chick's daughter is getting pulled from all of her...
Aunt Becky, yep.
All of her stuff's getting pulled.
Getting pulled out.
She was rich and successful, and now she's not so much.
But she's famous. Famous for being a douche, but still famous.
But the girl's getting kicked, like all of her sponsors are kicking her to the curb because her mom paid for her school.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I can't go to Harvard because of my grades, but also...
Well, you didn't go to, like, normal college.
Yeah. There are a lot of things keeping me from Harvard. I don't think if Aunt Becky was my mom, I would have got into Harvard. But...
They would have been like, can you afford a whole brand new school? No. Sorry. Not getting in.
Here's the great thing about the world we live in now. Harvard professors put their lectures on YouTube. If I want to learn what they're learning at Harvard, I can.
You actually can. You can... Only thing you do is you just don't get tested.
Yeah, I don't get the degree.
But you can still get to learn everything.
Yeah.
And college is what, just to prove you learned it? I mean, but if you know it, you know it.
How many people do you know are working in the field that they graduated with?
Well, from Harvard, all of them?
Maybe not. I don't know.
I would go with a solid 80% of them are working in the field their degrees in.
I'm not so sure. I think there's a lot of waitresses.
I'll Google that. Okay. I don't think there's a single waitress from Harvard.
I'm sure there's one.
There's probably one. I don't know. She suffered a brain injury in a car accident, and so then
I don't understand why people are so upset, but everybody gets so upset about everything now. I guess I should be used to it.
I mean, if you had the chance to win the lottery by suing some rich person, wouldn't you?
Yes.
All right. Well,
done and done.
They'll make more. You got some. All right.
Back to the movies that should be TV shows. Let me ask you about this one. Fight Club.
That would be a very entertaining TV series.
Yes.
But not sustainable, I don't think.
Your twist. Because you would lose the twist season 1.
Yeah, and you would just... I don't know. Like, I find good TV shows to be a good solid 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, a good solid 10 seasons before they cancel them. Like, not every TV show can be Special Victims Unit with, like, 30 seasons. And
sometimes they cancel them 2 seasons too late. They should have knocked off those last 2 seasons. And
it's just... Show. But, like, a 10. 10 is, like, the perfect number for... I didn't do it. Hopefully you guys heard that.
Yeah. I think we're all right. They're upset about the idea of making Fight Club into a TV series. I can't blame them. They're trying to stop it.
Just how do you... I don't... It's such a great movie.
Yeah.
That I don't want it to be tainted by a TV show that... Because it would have to be like an HBO or Stars.
Yeah.
I guess Netflix can do it. They have some...
Yeah, Netflix can do it.
Hulu could do it, but like...
you lose the twist, which is the hook of the movie. When you're watching the movie for the first time, that's the part that makes...
Like, the end of the movie, you're just like, what?
Huh? So, already we know that going into the TV series. Plus, you would have to do that at the end of season 1. So then what are you driving towards?
Yeah, like, there's just a...
Exploding buildings?
So you're watching the UFC every night?
Yeah.
That's already a TV show, just...
The UFC and a domestic terrorist
in a basement
organization.
in a basement of some restaurant.
But they're finding spiritual enlightenment. I guess that's what I want every week. But Fight Club's probably not the best way to get it.
No.
All right. From Fight Club, semi-related. What about a television series for Mean Girls?
Oh, I'm almost positive women can get behind that show.
Yes. Well, the movie itself is wonderfully written, very funny.
Yeah.
Even for guys like us who maybe not understand what.
I watched it. I liked it.
Yeah, it's good. And they're the kind of characters that you would see in a television series.
I think that would be a solid 4-year, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Yep.
Cut it out.
Yeah, four seasons.
If you go to college, too far.
Yeah.
There's no way all 4 of them girls went to the same college.
No. And I think you've got all the different kinds of girls, so that's how you.
Or you can even expand on it, like you can have like one season in one girl's point of view, and then like another season in a different girl's point of view with the same stuff, and make it different somehow.
Yeah, there are 4 girls. We have 4 seasons. Guess what? Each girl gets a season.
So I guess you just move all 4 years of high school into one season.
Yeah,
that'd be a little because you don't really age. I don't know.
Yeah, we would do each. So we do Katie freshman year. Then we do. I don't know their names. I don't know why I started. I just remember Katie. Then you do Rachel McAdams' character, and then you do. You know what I'm saying. Each one would be.
Or you just do like a different episode each time, like a different point of view.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Or you like cut an episode in half and you just have 2 episodes of like the same day or like same week or whatever, but from different points of view.
What we've got here, Tina Fey, is 2 heterosexual adult men who are saying, "Please make us a Mean Girl series, please." All right, the last one I'm going to mention here should be television series I'm not sold on. But what do you think about a Top Gun television series? It would be both a remake and
which they are doing. Well,
yes.
I guess they're having a sequel, not a remake.
Yeah. What it's called, I don't know what they call that, an update or a chapter 2.
A sequel.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they call this.
Sequel, you say? Say that again?
Sequel.
All right.
That's when they add 2.
Top Gun series. Yes or no?
Well, I like dogfights.
Yes. They could do a lot more with those.
Jets fighting jets. Dogfights.
Whoa.
Not dog
Whoa. I even let that one go by. That's not cool. Yes. Plane fights. That's not.
It's not the same.
No. Air battles.
Yeah, they're.
It's a training program.
Yeah. I guess you can get more in depth into the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
I can get behind, but like that's not. It would be a different class each season or something. But that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
You can't follow the characters unless the characters that you're following into are like the instructors. So I don't know. Like I would enjoy it. I imagine I'd watch it, but
isn't
there
there
wouldn't
like
be a jet scene every day because that'd be. I'd just imagine that'd be costly.
I think what you would do is have, because I remember in that movie, Tom Cruise's dad was a jet fighter.
Yep. Died.
So I would do flashbacks and have, while he's learning how to fly the jet, flashbacks of what his dad went through. I don't know. It's not like I've thought about this for very long, but that's what I would do if I was making the Top Gun TV series. Alright. So we already know that TV series is the best fan experience. You get more information. You're week to week. You're forming
I like
theories.
the story, like the build up, the character build.
Yeah,
you can. In movies, it's not quite there.
I mean, sometimes I would prefer a movie, something that's over. I know
like
they're
Forrest
done
Gump.
with it. Yeah,
I'm fine with the 3-hour movie. Like each hour is a decade of his life. Got it.
Yeah. And even like you were saying with the Marvel Universe, that's almost feels like a TV series because we get these little 3-hour installments.
Yes. And I feel like the universe in the Marvel series, we go back to Marvel a lot. Apparently we really like Marvel here.
Everybody likes Marvel.
Is like what makes it great and it's also its downfall. Because like they have this whole continuity thing that sometimes doesn't quite work out very well.
Mm-hmm.
in like deadlines, and everything's like they already have like for the next 3 years every movie that's coming out. So when you're on a schedule like that, can you have hiccups? Like, what happens when you have a hiccup? Like,
shouldn't and don't they just happen? I mean, nobody plans for a hiccup. Yeah. So what happens then? Do we lose the quality of the movie?
Or is so much of movies CGI now? It's not really taking takes. It's all done in CGI anyway. So there's not as many hiccups now.
Yeah.
Like I remember in movies used to be like coming out in the fall of 2002.
Vague.
But you don't see it until 2004.
Yeah.
Like that's a 2-year delay.
They can't do that now.
No.
You'd be throwing off a lot of schedules.
A lot of people would just be fired, and then like this movie's been done for like 8 months now. And you can't play this one until you finish the one before.
What if you're the director of the 6th movie in line and the 5th movie director fucks it up?
Yeah.
Now, how are you going to recover from this abomination? Like, let's say Justice League. Justice League just gets dropped on you, and then you have to make Aquaman. That's going to be hard.
Well, they didn't make anything of... no reference to Justice League.
No, not at all.
That's how they did that one.
They pretended it didn't exist, which was smart.
It was a prequel.
Martha!
It was a prequel.
Yeah, prequel. That is also a new word. I don't remember that word when I was a kid. Prequel? Now it seems like anything that's successful gets a prequel.
What was the first sequel you remember?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes to mind, but we were just talking about it.
It wasn't a prequel, though, was it?
No.
It went from 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, those were in order. But they do go back in time, so it was confusing. Yeah.
That's not how that works. That's not a prequel.
I guess it would be Star Wars, Episode 1.
First prequel.
Because I saw 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then
1, 2, 3.
And 1 was terrible. Because of terrible acting.
I thought 1 was way better than 2 and 3.
No, I think 3 is...
I think 2 is the best.
Really?
3 I couldn't get behind because he was just a whiny bitch the whole time.
He is. But they have the scenes at the end that kind of... Yeah.
No, he's a whiny bitch the whole time.
I wanted to like...
It was just like a spoiled brat that didn't get his way and he was crying about it the entire movie.
The most powerful Jedi in the history of the Jedi.
Just crying.
Just crying all the time.
It just... I wanted to leave the theater because I was tired of hearing someone whine.
Well, he was whiny in the second one. I want you to be my girlfriend.
But it was not quite so heavy-handed. It was there, but it wasn't...
And he was supposed to be younger.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be like a teenager.
Puberty, man. It does crazy things. Hormones are raging and... Would you be my girl? Just be my girl?
Yeah.
Beyond
Prequels.
that...
What's a good prequel?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of
a good
prequels, really. I guess The Hobbit. Hobbit was alright.
Hobbit was alright. It's probably too... They probably
long.
drew it out, yeah. Especially the second and the third are probably too drawn out.
Yeah. But those are just big books, and I'm fine with 3.5 hour movies. It just seems...
What did you think about the Harry Potter prequel, right? That's a prequel.
I think it's just a...
Different
spin-off.
Yeah,
it is before, but they're not related.
Right. There's no Voldemort. I don't.
Well,
think. I didn't get through Fantastic Beasts. I couldn't watch the whole.
Well, the first one, like, Voldemort wasn't the bad guy or anything. Like, it was just a spin-off. Like, there was no relevancy between the two.
Yeah.
Unlike The Hobbit, where
it hooks right back in. That's where it gets the ring and
yeah. There's like connections, whereas the only is the school.
Yeah.
In the magic.
Yeah, Bilbo's a part of the first Lord of the Rings movie. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to see how that... Of the books, I like The Hobbit is my favorite of the books.
Did he
that helps.
write The Hobbit before?
I don't know. I think so.
I mean...
Yeah. I think The Hobbit was first, but it didn't catch on the same way that the Lord of the Rings
didn't catch on until after Lord of the Rings. Because they're like, oh, there's something before this?
Yeah.
Let me read that.
And then he wrote one after called The Simulacron that I never read. I was done with Lord of the Rings after the 4.
I mean, do they make movies in the books that like are written like 2 years ago. I feel like all the books that get turned into movies are like from the 80s that were just great books that they want to make into movies.
I feel like every now and then, what's the one about
Gone Girl? Was that a
Gone Girl was a pretty quick turnaround. So is the one I'm thinking of is where the woman is bored and the guy's like a sex dominant.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. That was a real quick book to movie.
But I think there was just a popularity of like it just caught on really fast.
Yeah.
They're like, Money Train, let's get it. Let's get it now.
Fight Club's a book too, but I don't know what the dates between those two are. Yeah, I think a lot of times if they take more time, it's better for the movie. Harry Potter took a little while.
Yeah, because like that was, well, I guess even the first Harry Potter was a long time ago now too.
Yeah. The best example is Game of Thrones. Those books were written, I'm going to say in the 90s. Yeah. And that's a perfect. I think those books to TV show, it's not exact, obviously, but that's a pretty damn good job of going.
Well, it helps that he's consulting.
Yeah.
And especially now, like he hasn't even written the book for the most recent season.
I have a theory about this. I think HBO paid him to finish the series the way they wanted, and then he's going to release the book
the way he wanted
the way he wanted it. That's 2 purchase points. So now I have to buy the
that's
book.
Your theory now, huh?
Yeah.
That's your Captain Marvel theory?
That's my Captain Marvel theory. They want, and I will. I'll buy the book, I'll read the book, I'll watch the TV show. He's got me, and he knows it. The book will probably be twice as much as it should be. Hardcover, fancy, and all that stuff.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Or you can just get it on a Kindle for like $4.
Yeah.
But it's way different reading a book on a Kindle like product than a book.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you're just like, it's different on a screen, and it hurts your eyes faster. It's just.
Yeah. I've always liked the book. I'm one of those weirdos. I think I also like to have trophies. So all the books on my shelf are
look at my accomplishments.
Yes, look how smart I am.
Notice how there are no books in this room.
There's a bunch of movies, and we do have a rubber chicken. But no.
Hey, I won that chicken fair and square.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy.
Billy knows.
Bacon is cheating.
All right. New topic.
Oh.
So we think. No, this is kind of a related topic. So I want to talk about books. Why books are better than movies. Here's what I think. So when you're a writer and you sit down to write a movie or write a book, you're taking the images and thoughts in your head and you're putting them out onto the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Now when it's a movie, the director puts their spin on it. Each of the actors breathes their own breath into your characters. You slowly get away from what the writer was initially intending. Not in a bad way, necessarily,
mm-hmm.
but it is going to be a distance away from the original text. If you read a book, it's whatever the writer was thinking directly into your brain. There's no middleman.
Well, and I feel there's also another point that makes books better because you don't have... Well, in a movie, you don't use your imagination. It's all there displayed for you. Whereas in a book, you're reading it, and you have to imagine what you want, so you put your own personal image in there, so it's more personal.
Yeah, you take ownership.
And it's more... Since it's your imagination creating this world with the help of the book, it's more what you like.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, like, this character this way, whereas, like, say another person, the director of the person making the movie, doesn't find it to be that way, so you're like, how did they cast him to play this role?
Yeah. You have a little bit of ownership into whatever version you've created in your head, and you fight for that version of it. And
Which is why people might like books more.
Yeah, and here's what I think a book is. It's a way to build your empathy muscle. It's the way somebody else's life plays out, and the way, more importantly, the way they think. So you're learning how another person thinks or treats life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really get that from a movie. I mean, you get it in a certain way, but you're a distance away from the movie. You're watching it like God, a movie. But when you're in the book, you're in a direct relationship with the other person.
Well, I think it's perspective.
Yeah.
it just all has to do with perspective. Whereas when you see someone doing the action that you're reading about, well, versus reading about it, it's different because most of the time, like, you imagine you're the one doing all of these things. You just are something like along those lines anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, reading a book is just personal.
Yeah.
Which is, it makes everything better.
So why don't people do it more often?
Read books?
Yeah. Is it just the ease of watching something? And
because
everybody has a stressful life and they don't want to have to put the effort?
Well, what can't you do while you're reading a book?
Anything else.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And today everyone wants to do, like, you can watch TV, you can listen to someone talk, and then you can be texting someone while flowing through Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So you can be doing like 4 or 5 things at a time.
And not doing any of them well.
No.
At the same time. Yeah.
So you feel like you're doing all this stuff, whereas when you're reading a book, you're reading a book.
That's it. You're sitting, because you can't really walk around, or I guess some people read on the treadmill. I haven't figured that out.
Like, I can't, because you're like...
There's shaking involved, yeah.
I can't... I'm like, what line am I on? Like, it just doesn't work. Maybe an audiobook. I can listen to an audiobook, maybe.
Yeah.
If I'm running.
Well, that would...
I haven't tried that.
It would give you the same thing that reading a book would give you, an audiobook. You're just not personally...
reading it.
You're using your eyes, yeah. But it's the same track in your mind. You still have to use your empathy muscle. You still have to create the pictures in your head. Audiobooks are probably the next... I'm just saying that...
Well, until cars become automated, because I feel like everyone listens to audiobooks on their way to work in their 30 to 2 hour commute. Whereas when, I guess, Tesla starts driving themselves, which they already kind of do, like, but on and off the highways, you know, stops at red lights. When it starts doing all that, people are just going to start working in their car.
Yeah.
On the way to work.
Yeah.
Everyone's just going to have laptops just working, and
it's going to be a constant thing. Like, on your screen is going to be a little camera that shows you where you're walking, so you can just look up at the camera real quick. That's the future of humanity.
Oh, big business is trying to suck the life out of you every second they can.
So people read something, or listen to an audiobook, or listen to a fiction podcast. Maybe like one
that you're listening to in the middle of this thing where what's the word when you plug? We're plugging ourselves in our own...
we're plugging our show in our show.
In the middle of it, so... Hey.
You could be doing anything right now. You could be doing your folding laundry. You could be... Anything but masturbating would be okay.
Yeah, that'd just be weird. Moving on.
That's how you end a topic.
Yeah.
With one of those. Okay.
Yeah. I really want to talk about some Game of Thrones.
Let's do Game of Thrones.
I'm really looking forward to the upcoming season. Like, what are your predictions in the opening episode?
Okay. Well,
the premiere first episode.
Tell me real quick, cap up where we left off.
I believe
Ice Dragon?
Well, Daenerys and Jon had sex. Bran.
Yes.
Knows that they're related.
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
He left his sister.
Yeah.
To go help the North because he's like, well, fuck this shit. We need to deal with this.
Right. Everybody now knows about the demon, whatever.
Cersei, just backstabbing until the day she dies.
That's what she does.
What's the...
Tyrion?
No, the sailing king now.
Oh, yeah.
The uncle or brother that... It was an uncle, right? Uncle that came back to take the kingdom.
And then as soon as he
I don't know his name.
Neither do I can't think of it. As soon as he sees the zombie, he's like, I'm out.
But he's really not. He's just going to... I guess he went back to the fort that they attacked.
Huh.
Was that after or before? That was before.
That was before.
It's been a while.
All we see is him jet now, I think.
Yeah, but that was for a reason. Cersei said why. Who else? Tyrion is
with Dany. Or is he with... I forget.
no. He's the hand of the
Queen.
Yeah. Well, the mother of dragons.
Mother of Dragons. Future Queen of Westeros, I guess. I don't know.
She's the queen of something.
Yeah.
Rifle
She's the
queen.
mother of
Rifle
dragons.
queen. Rifle queen. I think
Queen,
that's
Mother
in the
of
title.
Dragons,
Whatever. I don't
Breaker
know.
of Chains. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, her title is like a paragraph.
Titles are important back then.
Um,
Sansa is in Winterfell, and so is Arya.
They just killed Littlefinger.
Yep.
Arya, I believe, is just going to have fun.
Yeah.
Or is she? Because, like, what is she going to do? Like, you can't be a spy against the White Walkers.
No, but she's quick as shit. And if she gets, like, a dragon... Oh, what's it called? Dragonstone blade? All she's got to do is poke them. And they'll all crumble. Yeah. She's the perfect warrior for this fight.
Okay, yeah.
She's small, she's quick. All she's got to do is stab them real quick.
I don't think we're really missing anyone. That's...
Oh, you're right. So, yeah. Jaime and Cersei. Sam.
Well, Sam's in Winterfell.
Is he?
Because he talked to Bran.
Yes.
Saying, no, this happened. That's how he all knew, and he looked back in time like, he's like, oh, okay, yeah. They're aunt and nephew? Yeah, I think that's how that is.
Aunt and nephew, yeah. So, according to my logic, if Jon Snow is the son of a Stark woman and a Targaryen man, right?
Correct.
Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar.
The Mad King's brother.
Mad King's brother. Doesn't that make Jon first in line to the throne? So Daenerys is technically has less of a right to the throne than Jon. If we go in the law of whatever...
Well...
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm asking your opinion.
Well, for that to... Rhaegar would have to be king, not the Mad King. So... Because she's the daughter of the Mad King, right? No.
Yes. She's... No?
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
I think... She is the daughter of the young... Like, were there 3 brothers? Fuck! I knew this, like...
Yeah.
Either way, I know that Jon Snow's right to the throne is superior to hers.
Right.
So he's the rightful heir.
Right.
If you were to believe that the Targaryens are the rightful...
But the dragons are hers, and I'm pretty sure that is the thing that determines who's who.
Yeah.
But the dragon was fine with Jon hanging out.
I think... Well, Bran's going to tell them. And, well, in our mind, that's not okay. But in their society, they're fine with it.
Yeah,
but I think... Because I remember after she was done recording, she said something like she didn't really like the way like they made her character.
Yeah, I read that too.
So I think they get married just to squash all of the
don't need to worry about
buffs. But it's not buffs. Yeah, whatever. So I think they're going to get married in the first like couple episodes
before the army approaches Winterfell.
Before they're probably like to go into battle or something. They're just going to be like, we love each other. Let's just do it now.
Yeah, tie our hands around or whatever they do.
Put a cape over their heads or whatever. I don't know. Oh, Bree. We didn't say anything about Brienne. But I think she's going back to Winterfell.
Yeah, I think she's going to be the head of the King's Guard for Danny. She's going to be what Jaime was to Robert Baratheon. Yeah. Tyrion's going to be the hand. I think Sam's going to be the head maester, whatever that.
Meister.
Everybody has kind of their roles picked out.
Yeah.
Except for Sansa. What happens to her? Death?
She's just going to be the Lord of Winterfell.
Yeah.
Because John's the king of the land now, so she's still the lord.
She could be the warden of the North. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the marriage is the only thing I got, because the rest is just a shit show.
It's hard to, but yeah. Then they keep surprising us in ways. I always go back to Hodor. The fact
Hold
that
the
they
door.
Hold the door was such a beautiful little piece of writing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I keep expecting that. I want that every week in
Do you
this
think
next season.
the problem with movies now is they try to take that surprise factor that Game of Thrones has done so well?
Yeah.
Like in The Last Jedi. What was it? The Last Jedi?
The Last
Hope?
Jedi was the last one.
Whatever the last Star Wars movie that came out.
Luke is hanging out, but not really there, but not really there. Constantly.
And then there was like, well, this is probably going to happen. Nope, she's not dead. She has some force shield thing, and she there was just so many weird gotcha moments.
Yeah.
That it was bad.
Yeah, M. Night got into that, where because of his first movies had great twists at the end. Now every movie has to have this dramatic twist, and that doesn't always work for every story.
No. So I think maybe they're just trying to copy the success of Game of Thrones, and it just doesn't.
He doesn't do it with every book. George created this by marinating us and then flipping it. There's a certain thing about I don't know.
Well, in
the symmetry.
There's lots of characters you want, in every book, movie, whatever. There's the good guys, typically always win. Maybe there's one or two that die.
Yeah.
The bad guys, they all die. Maybe except for one, so you can have another book, whatever the case may be. But in this, everyone is just an ebb, flowing, good, bad, dying,
week to
die.
week. It's different. Yeah. There's a lot of ambiguity.
Except for Joffrey. That bitch.
We knew what Joffrey was immediately.
He just needed to die.
And that actor.
And when it finally happened, I was just like, hallelujah.
And it's such a great death. His face looks all weird and gross. It's awesome. It's exactly you wanted him to shrivel up from the inside.
Just beating whores. What the fuck is wrong with that kid?
Did you see the Red Wedding coming?
No.
He's bitch slapping us constantly, and the books are even better in that terms.
I did not read the books. It's just crazy. They do them, the surprises. So oh my god, that's awesome.
They feel so organic, it's just part of the story and not forced.
And I feel maybe that's from he wrote the stories over time.
Yeah.
Probably went back, was oh no, I needed this, so this leads up to this.
Yeah.
Whereas now movies try to do that, but they don't have the time to make sure it all flows evenly and organically.
You're exactly right. So Stranger Things is a Stephen King movie. If they try to make it into a movie, it's 3 hours and there's none of the nuance that we like.
Yeah.
The teenage guy that seemed like such a dick in the beginning half of season 1 isn't allowed to come back and become probably one of the funnest characters in the whole thing, season 2.
Yeah, he's the knight in shining armor.
Yeah. And he plays the douche so well in the beginning that you just, something about a series that you can connect with the people more than the...
there's just so much background and you just character building. There's just way more character building.
And we've spent so long with, flat characters that now that we're getting these, it's...
Which is why, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about the prequel movies of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'm how do you...
Well, I can tell you the books are pretty different. It's written in the same, language and stuff, but the themes of the prequel book aren't on the same level, at least dark in terms of darkness, in terms of reality.
Well, it was when the dragons first conquered.
No.
Is it during the Mad King?
Yes. Well, kind of. It's the guy's name is Sir Duncan Tootall. He's a knight, or he's becoming a knight through the series. It's 3 novellas, so it's not like a whole book. It's 3 different novellas, and it just kind of sets up what the world was like. You see the dragon eggs are mentioned, but but that's it. They don't talk.
This is before the three dragons conquered everyone.
This is after the original invasion into Westeros, but it's before the Mad King, King Aerys. So the Targaryens are in rule. They're ruling.
Okay,
But
so
it's on the decline.
The dragons are the little
Dragons
pets.
are gone.
Oh, they're already gone?
Yeah, they've just gone, but there are dragon eggs. And part of one of the stories revolves around trying to get a hold of a dragon egg and sell it, because they don't think that you can hatch them. But I'm imagining that this story is how it gets into
that guy's as a
Illyrio or whatever that guy's name was. He gives it to Dany.
Wedding present.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So
all right. So it's. Okay.
I don't think it'll. If they make it I don't think it's a series. Maybe they are making HBO. I don't know.
They're making mini. It's like a mini series. So it's like. I think it's 3 miniseries.
Yeah.
Not 3 miniseries, but 3 parts of a miniseries. So
Yeah.
it's like an hour and a half.
Maybe 9
movie.
hours total.
It's like mini movies.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm so invested in this story that we got going on that when you don't give me that stuff, I get angry. I'm like, where is the... But that could be part of it. I didn't hate the books. I was disappointed that I
wasn't quite the same.
Yeah, I wasn't getting Night King and all that stuff. So,
like, did you ever read? No, you haven't read the Seeker, the Sword of Truth.
Mm-mm.
Like the first 4 books are good, and then it just goes. Whee!
Yeah.
You're just like, what the fuck? Like, did you just?
Yeah, I felt like
lose your mind.
This was just a money grab.
He's like, well, I made money, so let's just keep going.
Probably wrote these first, and then the real idea came.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, just make some money real quick. And I fell for it.
What about series that you thought ended too soon, or they canceled? I guess canceled is more the word.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, I guess the biggest cult classic is Firefly.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yeah, Serenity's not a bad movie.
But I feel like they only made Serenity because they had so many people like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What? And the actors at that point probably couldn't commit to like 2 or 3 more seasons of it, so they made a movie. I think that was just a compromise because they couldn't get them to come back.
Yeah.
Because they probably were on other shows by that time or whatever.
Yeah.
So they made which it answered the questions. It served its purpose.
Yeah, I like them both. I'm a Joss Whedon fan. I like Buffy too, when he made Buffy. And the Avengers, 2 movies that he directed, are pretty good. I'll take Joss Whedon. Alright.
A more recent one is Terra Nova.
I never watched it.
It was like I guess the future, the world was ending or whatever, so they went back in time to like colonize it or whatever, and it just ended like after the first season, and I was just like, what?
There was a series on NBC about a guy who was living in one world, would go to sleep and wake up in another world. In the first world, his wife was killed, and in the second world, his child was killed. So either way, he wakes up, he's missing a portion of his life, but when he goes back to sleep,
he has that portion, but it's missing that.
Yeah. And it was a really interesting show that they ended after one season, and the ending didn't make sense.
I don't even never even heard of it.
I think it's called Awake or something like that.
Huh.
It was a really great idea, but I don't know. I would have liked to see how that one played out. Which one do you choose? What's going on and what she's living?
Well, I guess you can't choose one, because you can't not fall asleep, I suppose.
I think he was trying to choose. I need to go back and look. That might be why they ended it. Because, he's just going to live both lives. No, he was trying to solve the mystery.
Oh, so in both lives.
Yeah, you can get clues from this, and this one, and this, He would go back and forth.
Oh. That is interesting.
Interesting concept, but they only did one season. So that's my answer.
What other ones? It's hard to remember the ones they canceled.
Yeah, I would like to see the detectives in True Detective season 1 do something else, because True Detective season 2 and season 3 aren't very good.
So you're hoping maybe it was a cast thing?
Yeah, and plus McConaughey, and yeah, he nails it. It's a lot of fun.
I kind of like McConaughey in most things.
Yeah.
Except for Wall Street is one of my
comedies. Romantic comedies are, but nobody's really great in those.
I mean,
Tom Hanks, I guess.
10 Things I Hate. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or something like that. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Right.
Yeah,
it's funny enough. That's one thing about having all this choice in terms of what movies we can watch. When I was growing up, I have 3 sisters, so a lot of times I was outvoted. So I would have to watch movies like Dirty Dancing, When Harry Met Sally, and it kind of expanded
your range.
And I wouldn't have done it on my own. I would have just watched He-Man again or whatever.
Weird, because I like romantic comedies, and I have 2 brothers, so we watched we watched what we wanted to watch.
And it was romantic comedies?
Well, no, I just chose that later, on my own, because my whole life is oh, we're gonna watch Conan. Oh, we're gonna watch Top Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna watch Jurassic Park. Oh, we're gonna
watch
300.
Yeah.
It's there was no girl in the background being like, but it's our turn. We gotta watch this.
Yeah. A lot of times, it's compromise movies were the ones that won. Like Back to the Future was a compromise movie. E.T. was a compromise movie.
All good movies, though.
Yeah.
No.
Princess Bride.
Aren't bad constellations.
No. But I don't think I would have the same range in terms of what I like if I hadn't been forced to watch some of those shows.
Oh, I guess gives you a different perspective, I suppose.
Yeah. And
Not everything has to have a gun going off in it.
No. You don't need an explosion to be entertained.
Even though, some movies, that's all they are. Expendables. I don't even know if Expendables is probably not a good movie. It's just a good movie because there's explosions every 2 seconds.
Not a good movie. The only reason people watch it is because it's a new action star every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just
all the guys that you grew up on.
It's great.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
All the movies I got to watch that I didn't get voted out on.
I wished I could watch.
Yeah.
But there were some that I forced in, like Speed.
Well,
they learned.
There's a love story.
Yeah,
there's a love story there.
There's a cute meat in that.
Oh,
hey, I'm a bus driver.
Which is probably why you can always get a sister, a girlfriend, a wife to watch Top Gun.
Yes,
I think that's one of the perfect made movies. There's the love story.
Yep.
There's plenty of action.
Oh,
it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It gets you by the heart when Goose dies.
Oh yeah, that's
emotion.
a tough one. That's a tough one to take.
And then there's character growth. It is you don't think about it.
Yeah.
But it is it is a perfectly designed movie. It might not be a perfect movie, but it's a perfectly designed movie.
It's a hero's journey.
Yeah.
They've got topless volleyball. They got
something for everybody.
Yeah. Val Kilmer being very young and Val Kilmerish.
Yeah. Now he's just old and fat and weird.
I think he's sick. We should probably. Sorry, Val. He was a great actor.
Well, when he was in Alexander, he wasn't. But he just looked fat.
Yeah.
He just stopped taking.
That was the character, Dustin. Okay. King whatever of whatever was kind of overweight, so he got into the character. Like how Russell Crowe, every other movie, gets into the character by gaining weight.
Fat, ripped.
Yeah. That movie does have it all, though.
Yeah.
And when they remake it, we'll all be disappointed.
It's just one of those things, but you have to go watch it.
Yeah, I will go watch it. And the jet fights could be much better with technology today.
But will the military let them actually use the jets?
Why not?
Because Tom Cruise flew the jet.
Really?
He flew it.
Wow.
He's he was the first civilian to fly a Tomcat.
I should have been Tom Cruise. That should have been my life. Except for the Scientology. Actually, if you're at the top, it's probably pretty great.
It's fine. It's like a pyramid scheme. If you're at the top of the pyramid, life is good.
I'll take all the Tom Cruise.
Yeah, jeez. And you get to jump up and be crazy on Oprah's couch?
Yeah, I'm in love with Katie Holmes.
Well,
I spent a lot of my teenage years in love with Katie Holmes because of Dawson's Creek. Another show
that you were forced to
watch because of Sisters.
I missed that one. Huh.
Yeah.
I was watching Smallville or something. I don't know.
I never missed an episode, and I could have. So that tells you something about me. My sisters loved it. But
you got hooked. They hooked you.
Yeah, I was a Pacey guy. Love me some Pacey. Pacey and Joey forever.
Busy watching Spartacus while you were watching Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, I think that explains a lot about the differences between us.
Oh yeah, and the decor and stuff. You know,
maybe.
I was thinking more of the helmet.
That too. Skeleton.
You probably would have went different directions.
Skeleton.
I imagine you would have went different directions with this.
No, you got the Millennium Falcon. I'm all about that. Einstein's pretty good. You can't really see the Leonardo, but that's a classic.
Can't really see the Phoenix, but
nope.
Life size. My ass.
Life size Tyrion. Don't believe the internet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Maybe when he was a baby.
Internet got me. What a waste of money.
$25 to start a fire.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Look at the reviews. There's probably a picture saying, bullshit.
What am I going to do about it?
Or you ordered wrong. Either or, but it's probably just the internet.
Yeah, I don't think I read too closely, and I probably should have. So we talked about water cooler shows. We talked about having too many choices. We've talked about...
Like, it's crazy how you have so many choices, yet everyone is always asking, give me something to watch on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, they're always asking, like...
We're always ranking things.
New shows to watch on Netflix, go. And we're like, I don't know what you've watched. Like, I don't even respond to these because I'm like, I don't know your life.
I haven't watched the good stuff you told me about last week. How am I gonna... Yeah. And it is new stuff constantly. I'm a comedy. I like comedy specials. Netflix is amazing for stand-up.
Yeah. And Netflix has been getting me a lot recently with movies that I thought were TV shows. So I was like, oh, I got like time to like watch one episode before I go to bed. Like, I don't pay attention. I just hit play, and I'm like, an hour and a half in, I'm like, what? Why is this? What? There's like this. So I hit pause, and I'm like, it's a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. And I have to watch the last 45 minutes, and I'm like, I gotta get to bed.
I gotta complete it too. I can't. And I don't like watching a movie from the middle.
No,
I won't watch it.
I'll just restart from the beginning, or I just won't ever start it again.
Exactly. That's why I'm not a good channel clicker, because you're gonna find something in the middle, and then I'm like, I would really like to watch Top Gun, but it's 30 minutes in right now. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I gotta start at the beginning.
And
gotta watch to the end.
Straight through.
Yeah.
And like, what is it like? I used to, back in the cable days, before like the channel flipping, like you would see something you're watching on this channel, it would go to commercial.
Yes.
So you flip to a different channel and you go back and forth, and you like, this is before you can even rewind. So you
missed something.
You missed 2 minutes of something. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah. Because you wanted to watch Monday Night Football, you missed the last scene of Alias. Now what are you going to do with your life? That was a thing that happened to people.
But now you just record one, watch one, you hit pause for 30 minutes, go cook dinner, come back, and you fast forward through the commercials. Or you don't record any of it. You watch some Netflix, go back, and just watch them both.
Yeah.
Because you recorded them. Like, I don't know how TV still makes money, because who watches commercials anymore?
I don't know a single person.
I just fast forward.
Live TV, like football games, okay. I get how you're making money from that, but
nobody's... like, the random, like, special victims unit commercials, like, no, you recorded that shit and you fast forward it.
Do you watch any sitcoms, like regular network television sitcoms?
What is the movie, the show with the girl with the tattoos that give clues to solve crimes?
Is that still on?
Yep.
Huh. I know what you're talking about. It was on NBC, right?
Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't know.
I don't want to even bring my phone in here.
I can't remember.
That one.
Yes.
I watched Quantico for like, I think the first season, and then I lost interest.
Yeah.
As soon as like they became like on the run, and it lost me.
Yeah.
I watch them like what the.
You mentioned Big
Bang.
Big Bang Theory.
Like the first 7 seasons, I watched a lot. The past 2, not so much. Like I don't know.
Blind Spot.
Blind Spot.
Yeah. Sorry.
That one was a good one.
Yeah. Like 30 Rock. I used to watch 30 Rock.
Well, we talking about used to. Like I watch a lot of TV.
You're right. I don't watch any.
Current day.
I don't watch any.
Like not many.
No. Most of the comedy I watch, well, I guess South Park's not a sitcom. It's kind of, I don't know. Is South Park a sitcom? It's a satire.
But it's the same concept. Like it's just
A
show on TV that you can still
30 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So South Park. Do you still watch that every episode?
Maybe because my mom wouldn't let me watch it growing up. I just never got into it.
Yeah.
Simpsons I used to watch, but not anymore. Like I haven't watched it since I was
Family Guy. Same thing. I used to watch it.
Like the first 3 seasons. It's still on, but I just don't watch it.
Yeah. I used to watch the Adult Swim Family Guy when they brought it back. I used to watch that on the regular too. I love Family Guy. Not anymore. I don't watch it. I don't know why.
Like because there's too much on.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to.
That's it. Usually Sunday night I've watched football all day, so it's time to.
Yeah, football is probably the only sitcom I watch all the time.
We're closing in on the college basketball season. I'm going to watch a lot of live TV for the tournament.
It's like the sport I can't get into.
You should.
I just can't get into basketball. I don't know why.
I can't get into golf or NASCAR.
Those sports?
People say they are.
Oh.
Are video game sports?
Well, no, but
people say they are.
No, it's not a sport. It's something that people get paid to do.
A competitive art form?
It's not an art form. It's a competitive cognitive skill level.
Okay. Like spelling bee?
That's kind of not really. It's more of reaction based. So I don't know. It's because most esports, that's just what they call them.
Yes, they do call them esports.
Esports pros are of like first person shooters or strategy games like I can't think of the name now.
Fortnite.
Well, Fortnite's a first person. Well, I guess it's a third person shooter. It's not in first person, which is weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
Yeah, and I played Fortnite probably 10 times, and I think I suck at building, so the whole concept of the game is kind of ruined on me.
Yeah.
Maybe because I only played 10 times. I guess maybe it takes a little longer to get used to.
You probably need to build up,
Yeah.
Fortnite vocabulary.
Yeah, about that.
I don't have time. I would love to do. No, I don't. I wouldn't love to be into video games. I'm just not.
I still play lots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play lots of video games.
That's fine.
Mainly Call of Duty and now Apex Legends. This new one that I'm not quite sure if I like or not yet.
Have you noticed any changes in the narratives in video games?
Yes. They usually, well, let's say 10 years ago, used to be a game came out. You paid $60 for it.
Right.
I'm assuming you own the console already.
You would have to, yeah.
Or you would buy the game.
Right.
You pay $60, you might get 6 months out of it, you buy a different game.
Yep.
So on and so forth. And then right around the time of Halo, I guess franchises start, I guess it was Halo 2 that was online. But I'm trying to think, no, you still had to buy the new ones. Maybe it was like Call of Duty. Not sure which one, but then they started putting on additional packs. So you buy the $60 game,
yeah,
and then you buy the map packs for like every 2 months. They have 2 more maps roll out, and you pay $30 for it. Now they have like camos for your guns that you have to purchase, like
in-game purchases.
Yeah, which is just like you already paid the $60 for the game, and now they're somehow convincing people to buy camos that doesn't change how the game affects. They just change how you look in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why do people buy this shit? They found out that people want to buy it. Like, it used to be you acquired it from, like, I had to get 50 headshots with this gun, and I got this.
Yeah, you earned
I got
points.
this camo. Okay, I have to get 500 kills with this gun, then I get this camo. Certain things, and I just acquire them.
Yeah.
Now you buy them.
Everything.
And I'm just like, why the fuck do people waste their money on this?
Waste a lot of money.
Because it doesn't change how the game is played.
You can play it without the purchases.
Yeah.
But
The same.
right.
It's not a pay to win, it's just you pay to look different.
Yeah.
Whereas there's like the apps on your phone, whereas like you have to pay to like win, but you don't ever, there's no end to the game, so it's really weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could add $35 to your shirt and put Gucci on it. Now, all of a sudden, people are willing to pay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's stupid.
And I feel like the games are getting released too soon. Like, they don't work properly.
Not enough testing?
Yeah, like so it's like the same issue with the movies. I guess there's a big correlation between like games and movies. It's not so much deadline because there's dominoes down the line.
Yeah.
It's just that people want the next big thing, so companies are just spitting them out as fast as possible, and like things don't work properly or whatever, and they have too much pay to win, like incentivizing their game, and it's just crazy.
Well, it's a sequel-based thing, too. Just like movies now, where they're not going to invest all this money into a game.
I'm not opposed to the map pack idea, because like it's not that I'm bored of the game, it's just that you play the same 6 maps for 4 hours a day.
And it's versus, right? You're playing against people.
Yeah, which is why it's not boring, because it's different every single time.
Yeah.
But when you have a variety of, like, instead of 6 maps, you have 20 now, because the game's been out for 3 years. Like, it's vastly different.
You get sick of the
same choke points getting, like, you're like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
I just lose now because
people
they have that side of the map.
People do it so often, they know exactly where every gun is. They know exactly where that stuff gets annoying.
Well, I guess now with Battle Royales, it's all random. Like, the spots are the same, but what is in that spot changes every time you load into a game.
Yeah. Which
is very different, and it's a new style that is very different and entertaining.
Yeah, because they used to be able to, they would know where your character would be recreated after you died, and they would just sit there and shoot you in the head.
Just spawn camp you all day long.
Yeah.
But in Battle Royales, you have 1 life, so there's not like, it's like once you're dead, like that's it, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you think we're getting, because of the sequels, are we getting more diverse video games, or is it like with movies?
Oh no, I think it's just same as movies. It's like one game has a success, so then all the other companies are like,
yes,
let's just do it.
Yes.
Which is, I guess, the same thing is happening with the movies, because it's just no one wants to take that leap and be different.
Right. It's too much money. It's $350 million.
Well, I guess now it's too much money to be wrong, apparently. But like, movies flopped all the time, and the companies that made them are still here.
Yeah.
Like, if you're dependent on the one movie, then I don't know. It shouldn't.
No.
Like, flops, I feel like, are necessary, so you know what people actually don't like.
Well, and they used to be,
and sometimes they just don't catch on. Like, movies that didn't.
Takes a little while for the audience to catch up to it. Like, I know what you're talking about. We're terrible. We don't have examples ready at all.
Well, no, it's just, I don't know.
Movies that are ahead. I think it's easier to do it with music, where you see somebody's came out with a record and they're way ahead of everybody else, and it takes a while for people to catch up. But now everybody sounds like Lil Wayne. Like, there's that kind of...
Or like Macklemore, like all of his old stuff. He had that one Thrift Shop song, and then like all of his old stuff became popular.
Yeah. And then
so it's just a matter of just being found. It's just getting out there. But like with movies, there's got to be one example. That
movie that didn't do well at first, but slowly... Well, you could say Firefly as a television series.
Apparently it didn't catch on. I don't know.
But
But now, like,
it's got a solid cult following now. It's got a Comic-Con presence.
Yeah. And there's only one season and one movie.
Yeah.
Which has a large, almost as large as, like, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. It's almost like a version of Trekkies.
Yeah.
Their own, yeah. It's pretty incredible, actually.
It's just amazing how many times they can redo Star Trek and it's still fun every time.
Yeah.
There's just something about sci-fi.
And that idea in itself, which is...
Like, a lot of people don't like the new ones. I loved
them, yeah. J.J. Abrams doesn't make anything terrible that I've seen yet. Yeah. Even his Mission Impossible movie is the best of the Mission Impossible movies. His is the third one. Where he goes to China and he's got the thing in his head, the bomb in his head.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's probably the best of the Mission Impossible movies. But...
I don't know, the last two have been phenomenal.
Yeah, the last one, the helicopter scene at the end, spoiler alert, the helicopter scene at the end is fucking amazing.
Like the Mission Impossible where they're in Australia? The Chimera virus or whatever? That one was just... I think that was like the worst of them.
Yeah, well, the first one's the worst.
Well, the first one was also the best because it's...
The closest to what a spy is.
Yeah. It was just weird.
It was hard to follow. You had to watch it like 2-3 times before you picked up on everything that was going on.
I guess because it was just like the new thing, so that the first one just made it like better.
Yeah.
But I guess you are right, and I had to watch it like I think I watched it twice back to back.
Yeah. J.J. Abrams, Star Trek. And
do you think maybe movies aren't advancing because there's like not new technology or new...
That's a good point.
It can't be the writing because there's still the same people writing.
They don't have like the same opportunities. Like they're all going to Netflix. So your independent films aren't going to go into the theaters anymore because nobody's willing to make that investment.
Yeah.
You just put it up on Netflix. It costs nothing to put it up on Netflix, basically.
Yeah, you just be like, well, how does Netflix... They're like, we'll give you this amount. We'll put it on there, whatever.
Yeah, Netflix pays one fee for your movie. That's it. Then it's on forever.
Well, they take stuff on and off.
Yeah, but that's more like a subscription thing where they'll pay to have The Office for a few, and then it goes back and forth. That's another thing Netflix has done is brought back some television series like The Office, which I love.
I still haven't gotten to it.
I loved The Office when it was on regular TV. And then I've noticed that all of the youngins are starting to quote it to me. And I couldn't figure out where they were getting it from. It's Netflix. The show is...
Because you're like, you were not even alive.
No, you don't know Jim and Pam. Don't give me that shit. But they do. They watched it. Mm-hmm. And now Friends is going through that same renaissance.
I did watch Friends a lot.
I did too. Yeah. It was before Seinfeld. I think that's why I watched it. And I also liked it. But I was young. Give me a break.
I had like the trivia game.
Really?
Yeah.
So I could ask you some questions, you know all the answers.
I didn't say I knew everything, but I'm sure I know a lot.
What was Rachel's last name?
I don't know.
What about Ross?
I do know that one. Hold on. Ross and Monica. Starts with a B. I want to say it's a B. It's not.
No.
Probably not even a B.
I know Joey Tribbiani, Rachel Green.
Oh, it is Rachel Green. It is.
Phoebe didn't have one?
Well, she probably had one of the credits, but...
I don't know. Chandler Bing, Geller, Monica Geller, and Ross Geller.
So I guess Rachel Geller as well.
Eventually, yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, so super nerd. Got them all. Elaine Bennis, Jerry Seinfeld, Cosmo Kramer, and George Costanza. Those are the ones that mattered.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
All right, comedy guy.
I think we have a problem with the way we talk about art. I'm going to throw a smart thing in here real quick.
Oh.
Art isn't good or bad. Art is relatable to you or not relatable to you. So just because something didn't hit you doesn't mean it's bad art. It just means it didn't relate to your journey.
So I'm relatable to lots of movies that you don't.
Exactly. You find yourself in movies that I cannot find myself in. Usually, probably because it's a thing about me as opposed to the movie. But I'm just telling you. Relatable, not relatable. Stop calling stuff good or bad. I do it too. I just call things good or bad. But that's not how art works.
I think this movie is good or bad.
I think I related to this part of the movie. I did not relate to this part of the movie.
I couldn't relate to anything in that movie.
Yeah. We'll see about Captain Marvel.
Tomorrow. We're going to see it tomorrow.
That is.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow.
So I did get my one smart thing in.
All right. Well, this is fun.
Yeah. It was a long talk.
Oh, yeah?
When you get us on movies, we can go.
Entertainment.
Yeah. The new landscapes of entertainment.
It's going to be apps. It's all going to move to apps.
We might need to make another show in a year. It might be completely
too wrong.
We're like, yeah, we just beam it into our brains now.
Or like, just instead of seeing what you see, you see
contact lenses or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Who knows?
Could happen. When it does, come to Joe Schmo. We'll break it down for you.
We'll get it for you.
All right, man.
We'll put you in the know.